Hi, I'm Yan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my TBR for July 2022. So June, I had an extremely long TBR. I had 22 books to read, and I actually, surprisingly, read all but two. And there are a couple days left of the month, and I am hoping to get some of these Chinese myths and tales done, but I definitely won't be finishing it. So, for July, I wanted to go as mood reader as possible because I read like 20 books on my TBR, and I honestly think I only had 1 to 2 books that I read that were mood reader type picks that I just randomly picked up. So this month in July, I really wanted to just focus on reading things that I'm in the mood for, and because I have a lot of plans with my channel, I want to focus more on making videos and stuff like that instead of focusing on a massive TBR and a massive list that I need to read. However, I do have a total of 6 books on my TBR for next month, so a very small amount compared to 22 books from last month. So I'm just going to run through them. I have 3 buddy reads I'm going to be doing, and then 1 that's for my book club, and then 2 that are moving over from last month, and then 1 that is kind of for a readathon, even though I'm not actively participating in any readathons. I am going to be participating in Garb August in August, but I think I'm going to limit my readathons to only 1 a month, because doing 2 a month last month with Juno and the Range and with Ancient Sathan, yeah, it was a bit too much for me, I think. So the 2 books that are passing over from June to July are Chinese Myths and Tales. I've been working on this for like 2 months, and War in Korea and the Complete History of World War II. So this is a massive boy. And in fact, usually monthly, I have a jar filled with random picks from my physical TBR, and usually I just pull out 2 of those each month. I'm not going to do that in July just because, one, these 2 books that I pulled previous months, I really want to focus on just finishing them. And I also have a few ideas of just like mood polling from the books on my physical TBR and just doing that and not like picking out random ones. I'm going to restart that in August, but I don't want to like pressure myself because, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of reading burnout after oh my gosh, he's chasing his tail. After how many books I had to read in June. So then for the books I am buddy reading, I have 3 books. The first one is Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne. I am reading this with my husband. This is the second book of, Bloodsworn Saga. Oh my gosh, would you please be quiet? I'm trying to film a video. Please be quiet. So Hunger of the Gods is the second book of the Bloodsworn Saga, Viking fantasy adventure. So I'm looking forward to reading that with my husband, and that should be, it takes time, but I also listen to it on an audiobook, so I haven't found it like super difficult. The next one I'm actually reading for the Black Hearts Book Club hosted by Very Literary Carrie. I'm co-hosting with her in July, and we are reading the Red House Mystery by A.A. Milne. And Milne wrote the Winnie the Pooh series, and I was just like, okay, so he wrote like a mystery novel in like the 20s, and this is a very short book. It's only 150 pages, so I'm really excited that it's a short read for this month. But I'm really curious to see like the creator of Winnie the Pooh write mysteries, so I don't know if it's going to be good, but I'm really curious to read it. And then with Katya, I am reading The Court Dancer by Shin Kyung-suk. Shin actually wrote Please Look After Mother, which was an exceptional book. I read it maybe 3 years ago, and I absolutely loved it, so I'm excited to read this. I believe it's based on a true life story of this court dancer in the Joseon dynasty in Korea. So I'm really excited to just get into it and read it with Katya. And for my book club, usually we read 2 picks a month, but I've already read the 1 pick, which is Turtles All the Way Down, and hate that one. I had like a 1-star review for it. I Oh, I hated it. I read it before I was on BookTube. I think, yeah, I read it before I was on BookTube, and I just did not like it. But we're also reading Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which basically explores gods and mortals having children, and the main character, I believe, is half-blood, aka half-god, which seems like a premise that I've seen a lot before. You know, think of Percy Jackson. I'm not sure if this is going to be unique. It's fantasy, YA, not sure I'm going to like it, but yeah. And then the last book I have on my list, even though I'm not technically participating in Jane Austen July, just because I don't want to do any of the extra stuff, I don't want to follow any of the prompts, I am rereading Pride and Prejudice. I have read this, over half a dozen times. It is, I talked about on my channel before that I rarely reread books, but this one is one of the rare exceptions. I think I read this first when I was about 13 or 14, and since then I've read it every couple years, especially like even if I don't read the entire book, I would definitely just go back and read my favorite scenes, like the proposal scene and the ending scene. So I am addicted to this book. It was growing up my favorite Jane Austen book. Now I can more appreciate the other books because I don't think this is necessarily Jane Austen's best work, but I am the most nostalgic for this one because, one, I've read it the most, and two, it's her first one that I ever read. So it's also her most popular one, and I can see why, because it has certain tropes that are more appealing to a mass audience. The love-to-hate relationship, the poor girl, rich guy. Hey. So yeah, I'm just going to reread that, and I'm actually going to reread it on audiobook because I've never listened to it on audiobook. I've always just read it. So yeah. Are you shaking? Are you shaking? Are you getting into trouble? He's a troublemaker. So yeah, those are the only 6 books I am reading. This is a rather short video, but after the extremely long video that went out Saturday, that took me so long to do, I wanted a nice, simple video. So on Thursday, I will be doing a wrap-up of all the books that I read in June. So for July, I'm only planning to do these 6 reads, and then besides that, I just get to read whatever I want. If I don't want to read any other books, that's totally fine. If I want to read like 20 other books, that's also fine. I'm in more of a mood reader feeling in July, which is totally opposite as when I was in June. So, have you read any of these books? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe. I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!